And now, the general weather around Alaska.
Today's satellite imagery showing here in the Gulf of Alaska a pretty intense storm system which brought 60-70 mile per hour wind gusts to Middleton Island and a good shot of snow and panhandle, pushing a lot of snow with gale force winds into the southeast coast front here, pushing inland, and a lot of snow shower activity that's actually interacting with the terrain, creating just an area of steady snow across the southeast coast too. Some pretty significant amounts. Also gale force winds with gusts of 40 to 60 miles per hour along the coastline there. Otherwise clearing out here, Kodiak Island, south central Alaska, as the system pulls off to the east with mostly clear skies here over portions of the interior, some light snow up around the upper Tanana Valley area. Gusty winds and some snow going on over the eastern Arctic coastal areas. Snow showers for the Alaska Peninsula. And out to the west, you can see the Cirrus Shield here with the next system that's going to be beginning affecting the western Aleutians. Otherwise, just left with some snow shower activity here over the remainder of the Bering Sea. On the chart, you can see the warm front with that next system beginning to approach the western Aleutian areas. Otherwise, nothing else out here, just a weak low in the Bering Sea and a band of light snow and snow showers extending down across the eastern Aleutians. Scattered snow showers along the Alaska Peninsula with gusty north winds there and northwest winds. And gusty northwest winds here over the southwest interior as well. And then areas of light snow mainly in and along the Alaska Range. And a more widespread area of snow over the north slope on over to the eastern Arctic coastal areas there. And even heavier snow occurring over the southeast coast today. Anywhere from 4 to 7 inches of snow falling across the Panhandle. And the only location that carried rain was Heidelberg, at least of the observation sites that I saw. Only Heidelberg had rain. Everywhere else carrying snow to moderate, in some cases heavy snow. Who ended up picking up about 2 feet of snow with this system today. And again, the snow ending toward Yakutat there, and even starting to clear out over Prince William Sound. For tonight, that low drifts in toward the North Gulf, or toward the north coast of the Panhandle there. So winter storm warnings, winter weather advisories continue through tonight. Let me say that again. Winter storm warnings and winter weather advisories through tonight for moderate to heavy snow here across all of the southeast coast, as gusty north winds tightening gradient here over the Copper River Basin begin to increase the north winds here along the North Gulf Coast, as well as in the Copper River Basin, Matanuska Valley, Kenai Peninsula, Resurrection Bay, and the passes of the Alaska Range here. Look for increasing winds. Strong northwest winds develop for Kodiak Island, keeping it dry as colder air flows in from the north here. It'll be a colder night over the interior. Light snow continues over the north slope in the Arctic coast with winter weather advisories for the eastern Arctic coast and wind chill advisories for the central coast there tonight. But those winds will begin to come down later tonight into tomorrow, but lingering on the east side there through tomorrow. I'm getting ahead of myself here. Out over the Bering Sea, not a lot going on, just this really weak low kind of sliding southeastward here. But narrow band of light snow showers continue over the eastern Aleutians, snow showers diminishing for the Alaska Peninsula. Then for tomorrow, that system pushes into the western Bering Sea, pushing warmer air with those southerly winds, especially behind the warm front. Snow changing to rain over the western Aleutians, gale force south to southeast winds associated with that. A break here as far as winds go, but still some light snow areas here across southern Bering Sea in toward Atka, over toward the eastern Aleutians. This trough here keeping snow shower activity going for the eastern Aleutian areas into the western Alaska Peninsula, but winds much lighter now, even into Bristol Bay. Strongest winds now across south central Alaska to Kodiak Island and Kenai Peninsula, as well as the North Gulf Coast, Copper River Basin. Kind of a windy day coming up, especially for the normally windier areas over in that location there. And otherwise dry and cold over the interior, some clearing, and temperatures well below zero through the day in the interior, and even out to Bristol Bay and the southeast coast here. Looking at the snow advisories and winter storm warnings for heavy snow should end, but snow showers continue as this low starts to weaken and pull southeastward. Actually, it kind of pulls back to the west. Another center develops and moves down toward the Queen Charlottes, and this whole missile eventually shift off to the southeast. Otherwise, stays windy and cold over the southeast quarter of the state, and very cold and dry with a lot of clearing over the remainder of interior Alaska here, right out to the southwest coast. Clearing skies there, Bristol Bay mostly clear, as well as the Yukon-Kuskokwim Delta coastline, but winds will be much lighter out in this area under the high pressure area, as well as light winds over the northern half of the state out to the Arctic coast. Still some light snow going on for the eastern Arctic coastal areas. And this system pushing slowly eastward, mostly getting shoved off to the north there. But rain and windy conditions for the central Aleutians spreads in toward the eastern Aleutians with that warm front. And look for snow and wind increase there over the Pribilof Islands late in the day. And going to the forecast lows for tonight, anywhere from 30 to 45 below in the minus 40s here as we approach the 1st of May in the Yukon Flats. Fairbanks 30 to 40 below in the Tanana Valley there. And Susitna Valley dropping below zero, anywhere from 0 to 15 below. And the Kenai Peninsula, same thing, 5 below to 10 above. Lower 20s, Kodiak Island, below zero for Bristol Bay. Lower 20s to the Pribilofs. Upper 20s, lower 30s there for the Aleutians. And for the southeast coast, lows tonight, 15 to 20 over the northern areas. And in the 20s, all the way down to Dixon Entrance. Highs for tomorrow, lower to mid 20s here for the northern panhandle, 30 to 35 central areas, and the mid to upper 30s down to the south. So the snow you're seeing today is going to stick around a while there. And highs may be reaching toward 10 there around Golconda, Copper River Basin. Otherwise, 10 to 15 for the highs here for south central Alaska. A little milder down toward Homer, but still struggling to reach 20. 28 in Kodiak, and 5 to 15 for Bristol Bay. 20s to lower 30s here for the Alaska Peninsula and eastern Aleutians. Mid 20s for the Pribilofs, right around zero or a little above St. Lawrence Island. And below zero here for the northern half of the state, all the way to the Arctic coast. Kuskokwim Valley, Nikolai McGrath saying around 5 below for the highs, and then falling 30 to 40 below in those areas for the morning hours Thursday. And anywhere from 35 to 45 below here over the northern interior areas, North Slope included, and minus 20s along the Arctic coast, and 10 to 15 below for Bristol Bay, 15 to, or right around 20 here for the Alaska Peninsula. South central Alaska, everywhere dropping below zero. So Susitna Valley could get down into the minus 20s below zero, or minus 20s, and 20 to 30 below for the Copper River Basin, 10 to 15 or 10 to 20 for the northern panhandle, and upper 20s near 30 to the south for the highs on Thursday afternoon. Mid 20s for the northern panhandle, near 40 now down to the south. Just above zero there in the Copper River Basin. Highs 5 to 15 for south central Alaska again. Even Homer high about 14, 21 for Kodiak. 0 to 5 below for for Bristol Bay here. And staying below zero for all of interior Alaska to the Arctic coast, closer to zero out here toward the Bering Strait and the southwest coastal areas.